after Hierapolis, we drive to Laodicea and we start the book of Revelation, written in Patmos Island in the time of Emperor Domitian by John. John, the son of Zebedee, John, the son of Salome, the John, the beloved. That John we are talking about. Down below to the right is Lycus Valley. There is another valley behind of the mountains to the right. It's called Hermes Valley. And today, after visiting Laodicea, we pass through this mountain, okay, cross over the mountain to the right, and to the Philadelphia. Philadelphia, little actually left from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphos. So the ruins of the Basilica of St. John, which comes much later period of the Byzantine. So after that we go to Sardis, and Sardis things to see like a synagogue, a imperial gymnasium, temple of Artemis, and so on. So after that we hit the road to Kuşadası, and where we stay 2 nights.
And other parts they rest
They know how to take pictures.
You want to take picture? Wow.
No, they think you're going to feed them.
Yes, the people feed them,
Yeah.
and also the guys in charge they feed them too.
That's why they thank the people.
Graveyard. We have the agora, the marketplace, and pools, Turkey, Roman bath, and a Roman theater. This theater is not exist anymore. This is from the Hellenistic period, 3rd century BC. That is of the 2nd century AD. City built in hippodomos plan, grid plan. Streets are parallel and perpendicular to each other. Hippodomos was the urban planner of the Miletus city. City, as we can see, surrounded with the walls. And here, number 16, the Matrium of Saint Philip, the disciple of Jesus Christ, came here. And he was martyred here in 80 AD, 80. Okay? Over his tomb, they built the Matrium much later. From the white terraces, we walk this way and to the exit. When we do the walking by the terraces, so you will enjoy it to the maximum. You will see most of it. Okay. And the ancient city Hierapolis. Laodicea, I am pointing. Right there. Laodicea is there. And the Colossae is further behind. In between, not more than 12 kilometers. These 3 cities were hot city, Hierapolis, cold city, Colossae, lukewarm city, Laodicea. Okay? So, in order to understand the letter to the angel of Laodicea, you need to come to here. Okay? Because origin of the hot water of this part. Our hotel is located further to the right, and nearby our hotel we have a water source of nearly 100 degrees Celsius, a real hot water, comes underground.
Wow.
When the water reach here, and some source from here is warm water, the one Laodicea, when the water carried there, becoming lukewarm. Cold water coming from Colossae to the Laodicea, because here is warm, you don't see snow except on the mountain, also becomes lukewarm. That's why when Jesus says that you are neither hot nor cold, but you are lukewarm, I wish you were one of those, either hot or cold. Why? Because this city, hot city, faithful people. The Colossae people were faithful. But the people of Laodicea, they were in between. They couldn't decide. When they come across with difficulty, they move away from the faith. They were not holding to their faith in case of tribulation, in case of a difficulty. That's why these people never holding aside. Jesus says, I wish you were one of those, because these people are faithful people. You are lukewarm. That's why your door is closed. That's why he comes, he knock on the door. He says, but Jesus never give up from us, whether you are in between, okay? That's why he comes to give you a second chance. Comes and knock on your door, and the one who hear him, he will be with him. Because the spiritual understanding is you need to open your heart, you need to hear him. And Telefus dedicates this to his wife. Hierapolis is the name of a lady. Hiera is a lady name. Same for Laodicea. Laodicea is the name of a lady. Antiochus, one of the Seleucid king, dedicated the city to his wife. So, even in the ancient time, they were means what? Scared, so maybe they love their wife too much, so they dedicate it to their wife, even the dogs. This is the name of the dog. Here. Second. S-A-C-R. The city founded here in the Hellenistic period, but much earlier, like Neolithic period settlements we do have. But we go back to the time of the 4th century BC. That means Hellenistic period, they built the city. Romans, they have enlarged the city. For Romans, this city was a recreation city because of the quality of the water, which cures rheumatism, skin disorders, cardiovascular problems, post and pre operations, also lowering the cholesterol in your body, eye disease, shopping disease, broken hearts. It cures everything.
Is there a reason?
Yeah, and they were here for a honeymoon.
Okay.
Mark Antony and Cleopatra. Okay, so for Romans, this city was sacred city because of the healing power of the water and the recreation city. It's a huge city actually, most of it underground. In 1942, followed by 1957, Italian and Turkish archaeologists started excavations and restoration. This part I am pointing Hades, actually the god of underworld, down below there is called plutonium, a Digeon's hole, where high amount of carbon dioxide, graveyard, the cemetery. To the right up on the hill is the Matrium of St. Philip. When he was here to preach the word of God, and they arrested him. They tortured him, asked him to deny Jesus. He said no. And he was 80 years old, in the year 80, and he wanted to be crucified upside down to have more sufferings than Jesus. So his wish was granted. They crucified him upside down. Okay, so Philip martyrdom was in this city. So this city enlarged in the time of Hadrian, followed by who else? Septimius Severus. Septimius Severus, the one who built this theater, beginning of the 3rd century, with more than 10,000 people capacity. That means if it is 10, multiply by 3, 30,000 in the Hellenistic period in this area people lived, times 10, 100,000 people lived in the Roman period. This is a typical theater, not an amphitheater. Amphitheaters are freestanding structures and circular buildings. Good example, one in Rome, Colosseum of Rome, by Vespasius Titus of the 1st century AD they built. This is a theater, and this part is called cavea, and this part is called diazoma, dividing the cavea into two. Down below I am pointing orchestra, and right there you can see a special seat is for the proconsul, consul, senators, visitors of high end being entertained there. And In front of the orchestra, the first row of the seat, there was a fence when they were doing gladiator fighting against the wild animals. Wild animals kept under the grill part, you can see the door, right? And the stage for the performance. Behind of the stage, you can see the statues. These statues are replicas, originals are in the museum, in the Roman baths in the museum. And you can see the friezes. These friezes are replicas, original ones are in the museum. You can notice that there are two small pillars on top of the first columns. This gives you the chance to think that there was one more floor. The archaeologists left them there, telling you that there was one more floor. That means it was two-story facade. Okay, so it amplifies the voice very well. To the left and right, I am pointing. There are rooms. Okay, you can see the door. This is the changing room for the performance. Performance actually is a ritual for the Romans and also in the Hellenistic period, because in the pagan period, like the time of worshipping to Zeus, Hades, Apollon, Artemis, you name them, ordinary people not allowed to go into the main building of the temple. Main building was open only to the royal family, priests, the priestess, nobody else. So people used to come into the open area of the temple, which was open to everybody. They were going there, asking for the priest to come out from the main temple. Then they were asking their questions about the future. If they were in the temple of Apollo, they used to pay money or bring a gift to the temple, saying that, you know, I want to do like chickpea business with Laodicea. Should I do that or not? So they were going inside, checking with the priestess. The priestess actually getting some kind of opium, making themselves high. They were in a form of actually trance. So they were uttering the words, hexagonal words. That means 6 words makes one sentence, and then another 6 words, one sentence. They were telling these those words, and the priest used to write down and coming and telling them. And the way that they were explaining or telling about the future, you had to decipher the meaning, and you have to be very careful, because otherwise you can make a big mistake, like Croesus did. Croesus, King Croesus of Lydia, Sardis, the capital, waiting for us in the afternoon. We are going to see. He went to the temple of Apollo nearby Miletus, which is a biblical site. And in the temple of Apollo, he asked to the priest, I am going to attack to the Persians. Should I do that? And the priest checked with the priestess, and then the priest replied, if you attack, that we cross over to go to the underground sea. They were doing this, tipping them. So the performers having no salary, but they earn their living from the tipping. Performers were all male. If you have seen the movie, Shakespeare in Love, Gwyneth Paltrow in the movie disguised herself like a man, cut her hair, went to the theater to perform. Why? Because of the ritual, religious worshipping. In the idea at the background of the shows are actually the ritual. So male performers only, no female performers. Until the very late century, they were all male performers. Later on, they introduced the ladies, the ones who were smart, good at acting, and they were allowed to do the performance. But 99% male performers. If there's supposed to be a woman in the show, they disguise themselves, dress up like a woman. You may ask this question, Selam, what sort of shows? All sorts of shows they enjoyed, but the most preferred ones were the naughty, dirty jokes. They laughed a lot. Was there any entrance fee to the theater? Yes. Was there any ticket for the theater shows? Yes. They had to have a ticket office. They used to buy their tickets. On the ticket, one side is a mask or an emperor face depicted, ebony, ivory, bones, baked clay, you name them, different types of stones, and of course different levels. If you go for down, more ebony or ebony tickets. Up here, upper part cheaper, so you have baked clay tickets. You know? Even the ticket quality is different. You had to return back later on after the show over, and you were allowed to bring your promulsis, which is a diluted wine with water and honey, and they were allowed to bring their nuts, dried fruits, popcorns, and they were sitting. Ladies used to sit at the back. Ladies that time wanted to run away from the sun. The Roman ladies especially, they did not like sun, something like Singaporeans, and they were having what? Umbrellas. To protection from the sun, not from the rain. So because of that, you can see the holes right there. Okay, there are holes. These are for umbrellas. They used to put the wooden stick, big umbrella, and they were sitting and enjoying the show. Of course, if the theater was so crowded and those parts, then you cannot see the show. So if it's not crowded, then they were bringing the umbrellas, placing them there. So this part, upper part, reserved for the ladies. Gentlemen mostly sit in front. The guests of honor sitting right there. You can see the seat. They were sitting on the pillows. After the show's over, they were taking their pillows with them and bringing the ticket to the ticket office. Sometimes before elections, rich guy of the city paying for everybody, saying that announcement in the agora, tonight there will be a show and Julius Flavius Achilles going to pay for everybody, come. And then everybody coming and he pays for it. Julius Achilles Flavius talking there on the stage. Dear fellow friends of Hierapolis, as you know, next month elections coming. I am a candidate. If you choose me, yes, and then if you choose me, if you elect for me, I will renew the roads. I will build another temple here. Blah blah. You know, some people. Okay, good. Then show starts. After that, performance comes. This is interesting. In the shows, they're supposed to be that they are by the forest, you know, acting like in the forest. How to make it much richer? Very easy. You know the Toblerone chocolates? We have the Toblerone chocolates. How many faces on the Toblerone chocolate? 3 faces, isn't it? Triangle, one face, other face, another face. Toblerone chocolate, imagine 2.5 meters or maybe a little bit taller, wood, skeletons, coated with the skin, lamb skin, goat skin, whatever skin, and they put them vertical side by side, and each side they had a painting of a forest. So they wanted to have a forest, rotate them one by one, then you have a nice forest view. If you want to have a sea view, rotate the other side one by one, then you have a sea view. Did you get what I mean? They were all vertical like these pillars, but they were next to each other. So then you will have a sea view. Let's say you want to have a sunset view, then rotate the other way. So this is one set. Then bring another set. In another set, then you are in a cave. Then the cave view. So the performers acting there, behind there is a cave view, or they are like in the cave. Okay, so it used to be much more colorful and easier to catch and easier to imagine that what was going on in the shows. And they used to have masks as well. Masks, eyes, holes, and the mouth, there's a hole to amplify the voice. Especially when they wanted to act like a woman, then they were using those masks.